Hey everyone, Dungeon Printer here with another TaleSpire video. This is sort of a follow-up to the Is TaleSpire Right for Your Group video. As I said in my last post, the video received quite a lot of traffic with over 50,000 views, but it also had nearly 300 comments. I thought it would be helpful to take some of the more common questions from those comments and make a short video about them to answer questions for anyone else coming in. Let's get into it. The first question is probably the one I saw the most, and that is, does every person in my group have to buy TaleSpire, or is there a DM license? The short answer here is, unfortunately, yes. Every person needs a license right now if they want to be in the client participating with everyone else. The TaleSpire devs have mentioned they know this is a concern, and it's something they want to address in the future, as seen in their own FAQ on TaleSpire.com, but for now, it's not the case. As I told many people in the comments section, there are absolutely very legit ways around this as a DM. My first suggestion is to live stream your own game for players over Discord. A lot of online groups use Discord anyway for voice chat, so adding a live stream look at the battle map isn't much of a stretch. You'll have to be a little careful with the DM views to not give away anything, but with a little foresight it shouldn't be a big issue. The second option is to use the game's top-down camera feature to make a 2D map out of your creation. You can get into this view using the F6 key and can take whatever screenshots you need from there. If you use Roll20 or another virtual tabletop, import your newly created map image from there. Set up your grid to match the tiles, and you're ready to go. Instant custom maps for your group. Once you've used these options to show your players what TaleSpire can do, keep an eye on Steam for any sales that might pop up. Steam does big sales several times a year, and a lower price point might be enough to get your group on board to start playing in the client. The next big question I saw is, does TaleSpire have Fog of War? The answer here is yes, but with a caveat. The Bouncy Rock devs still aren't totally happy with the current state of Fog of War, as they outlined when the experimental version of the feature went live, but it does exist for you to use. To use it, go into your settings menu and add key bindings for it. Now when you make a selection using the X key, you can press your Fog of War hotkey to fill that area. When a player has line of sight, it automatically dispels the fog. Now, this system's absolutely not perfect. The fog doesn't come back when a player leaves line of sight, the DM can't see through the fog, it's a bit awkward to use overall. It does need work, and the devs know it. I find that most of the time, the better option right now is to just utilize hide volumes that can be added from the DM menu by pressing tab. When you add a hide volume, it can be a wide range of sizes, can be turned on and off as you need by just going back into that menu, and you can also see things in your DM view that are hidden, highlighted in red, so that's something better than the fog system as well. Both options exist, so pick whatever works best for your group. Question 3 is, can I import my own miniature into TaleSpire? This is a no for now, but again, something the devs want to address later. They've already entered into a partnership with Eldritch Foundry, which is an online mini creator business, to expedite their token creation for the game. So they're definitely open to partnership, and I wouldn't be surprised if they team up with Eldritch Foundry or Hero Forge for this as an in-game option in the future. The Tales Weaver component is something that's also still coming, which will allow players the ability to import their own assets, which includes tiles and minis both. I can't say how difficult it will be to import minis, but giving players access to it will by itself mean countless new assets and minis to choose from, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. Next up is, can I make a character sheet in TaleSpire? Right now, TaleSpire is a virtual tabletop without very much else in terms of rules integration. You can't make a character sheet, you can't adjust roles in the client to account for different attacks, effects, etc. This is a big drawback for many people, but my group hasn't had much of an issue with it. We use D&D Beyond for our character sheets, and I allow players to roll in the campaign or with the virtual dice in TaleSpire. With that said, the devs have begun to add some integration tools, with special TaleSpire links that you can click externally to have things happen in the client. These formulas would make it easy for a site like D&D Beyond to make their character sheets TaleSpire compatible, so hopefully we see that soon. If there are any other sites out there already allowing you to make character sheets with these TaleSpire formulas, let me know in the comments. The last question for this video is about measurement tools. I had a couple people ask if you can measure distances easily in TaleSpire, and that one is definitely yes. I really love the TaleSpire rulers, and they make it very easy for players to figure out movement and attacks. For example, if the monk here wants to use Step of the Wind and get to our pack of skeletons, they can grab the line ruler, click on their space, and get a visual indication of how far they need to go. You can also click at different points to change direction and measure distance that way if you wanted to go around the fountain here, for example. Our wizard sees enemies clumped up and naturally wants to fireball them. He can measure distance first, then switch over to the radius ruler. Wizards don't usually want to fireball their melee allies, so he adjusts the ruler until he finds the perfect 20-foot radius to hit all the skeletons without damaging his ally. There's also a cone ruler for spells and breath weapons, so our Dragonborn wizard demonstrates that here, making sure his 15-foot breath weapon with a 45-degree cone doesn't hit his ally. My players also like to use the rulers as quasi-laser pointers, since players don't really have that option in the client. If they need to ask a question or point something out to me, they use the line ruler to ping it. All three of these rulers can be found in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and they're pretty intuitive to use. You'll figure it out. That's pretty much the main questions for now. If I missed any questions you want to know the answer to, feel free to drop it down in the comments below. I'm usually pretty quick about answering. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon.